From viral look-smaxing routines to IV drip selfies, wellness culture is dominating social media feeds. And everywhere you turn, there's another new trend claiming to make you healthier, younger, even more energized. But it's not always clear what's a real hack or just hype.
We're back now for day 2 of Wellness Week here on Fox & Friends, breaking down how these new fads really work and whether they are as beneficial as they seem.
Today, Lawrence puts IV therapy to the test. Watch.
It is Wellness Week, and today we're going to be exploring the new thing that a lot of folks are doing. It's called IV drips.
IV therapy is like a quick way to get a bunch of nutrients and detox your body so that you can achieve a higher baseline function in your day-to-day life. So you just feel better, less run down. It helps with stress, helps with work. You just feel like less likely to get sick. It can do a lot.
This is creating people that are in the wellness space or in the fitness community, or just like moms and dads that like have a crazy schedule. It's kind of created a community.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'll have moms come in who they're on the cycle of getting sick whenever their kids get sick, and this is super common. If they're consistent with even just shots or drips, whatever works for them schedule-wise, that pattern just dissolves. Like they really don't get sick anymore. So it's really cool.
Just a little bit about me. Jiu-jitsu, work a lot of hours, not a lot of sleep.
Right.
Let's get started.
Okay. So this part, you're welcome to look or look away. Some people have a preference. It's okay, I'll look, you don't have to.
Today we're getting what?
You're getting a lot of B vitamins, which is really huge for stress. High dose vitamin C is amazing for the immune system. And then amino acids, taurine, lysine, and glycine. Those are just amazing for recovery, brain function. Magnesium, which is huge for sleep, blood pressure, nervous system regulation. These are all things that we should get in food, but a lot of times the classic American is just depleted and needs more support in this modern lifestyle. And then if you're open to it, I would recommend trying the NAD shot.
Oh, I definitely want to try it.
NAD is going to clear up any brain fog. It's amazing for brain inflammation. It's also amazing for physical injury.
Now that I'm all done, is there anything I need to be aware of?
Honestly, there's no negative side effects. Usually just feel really good, feel energized, more awake. I usually recommend to track your data if you have any wearables, because it usually does reflect the positive changes. You should sleep really well, wake up really well rested to your first alarm, kind of ready to start your day. That's pretty much it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So every patient is different. We noticed that I'm a little dehydrated. It's been a while, a few months since I got one. So I think I'm going to do another one, if that's okay with you.
I think you should do another one maybe also next week.
Okay, I'll be here.
He said he felt rejuvenated afterwards, so much so that he went on vacation.
So let's bring in family medicine physician Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike, did Lawrence waste his time, or is he vitamined up and healthier than ever?
Look, it's tough to say what actually happened in that visit because there were a lot of promises being made, and that's my biggest concern. When I, as a doctor, want to institute any kind of treatment, therapy, whether it's medication, surgeries, IV drips, it needs to be with a careful risk-benefit analysis, as well as informed consent so the patient knows what they're getting.
But how could it be bad to have vitamins?
Well, here's the thing. When you are thinking about vitamins, minerals, it's about having enough, the right amount, not necessarily more. It's like when you're filling up your car with fuel, you want to have your fuel tank full before you go on a road trip, but putting more and having it spill all over the place just creates added side effects. And that holds true for vitamins, especially vitamins that are fat-soluble, vitamin D, E, K, A. These can actually build up in your fat stores and create toxicities. There's also some vitamins that we hear all the time, vitamin B, that if you have large amounts, we've seen some associations with having very high levels of them, creating higher risk for cancer. So it's not as simple as more equals better, and that's the real take-home message.
How much of it is just hydration? Because like a lot of people, they'll use this as like a hangover helper.
Yeah, so like IV therapy is life-saving in the hospital. When someone comes in shock with a low blood pressure, we need that IV therapy. If someone can't consume fluids, they can't hold fluids down because they're vomiting, they're having diarrhea, it's so important to get those fluids back into their body, especially children, pediatrics, very important. But when you're doing it because a podcast bro told you that, hey, this is going to make you feel this and that, and it's better for hangover, just have some water, rehydrate, maybe a Pedialyte, a Gatorade.
Or drink less.
That will do the same thing. Well, You know what? As a doctor, I probably should have said that first.
Yeah. What about peptides and creatine? We're hearing a lot about those two.
Yeah, two different worlds there. Creatine is one of these supplements that actually has great evidence behind it. So I usually am one to poo-poo a lot of these miracle cures that are overhyped. But when it comes to creatine, this is something that does help with weightlifting, helps with performance in the gym, especially anaerobic performance. This means like heavy weightlifting, explosive movements. It does help. We just need to remember that this isn't a magic pill. It's really about your consistency with your workouts, your diet. That's what's going to give you 90, 95% of the results, and then the final 5% from those supplements.
We are looking for a magic pill, by the way. If you find that, please tell us.
I'm going to break it here first.
Is it peptides? So a lot of people talk about injectable peptides that can build up muscle and reverse the aging process. Any of that true? Because it's not okayed here.
Yeah, this is so scary for me because anytime you're injecting a medicine to the body that is not well studied in humans and you're doing it based off of petri dish or animal data, that's incredibly frightening, especially because they're not FDA approved. They have true side effects, and we don't know yet the long-term safety data. You know, people get worried about vaccines, they get worried about GLP-1s, which, by the way, are peptides. But these things actually have safety data, long-term safety data. But when we look at some of the peptides that are talked about on podcasts...
What is the promise of peptides? And tell me the reality.
The reality is that there's so many different peptides in the podcast world, and I use that term lightly because they're discussed quite frequently in the celebrity world as well. And they make promises like faster muscle healing, tendon repair, gut health rejuvenation. But we don't have the evidence to say that actually works. In fact, some of these peptides that are on this black market, because they're primarily sold as compounding pharmacy medications for research use only, have been in the past FDA approved and then given up by pharmaceutical companies because they weren't so valuable.
Interesting, because they're not allowed here, right? Yeah.
It's not that they're not allowed here. They are. Compounded pharmacies do sell them, but the FDA does not regulate them, and I wish they would so that we can find out what's true, what's not, and actually give meaningful recommendations to our patients.
All right, peptides and creatine's good. Peptides, the jury's still out.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Dr. Mike.
Great to see you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.